Training to be an F1 driver is a tricky task.
You're making sure that you're strong enough for all the things you need to be strong enough for. You're conditioned for all those, hot, sweaty, long races.
Especially when you're fighting for race wins, championships. It's a very fine balancing act.
How can you sustain that for a 24-race season?
What's the hardest race?
That's a tricky one.
The most difficult race of the year is probably Singapore.
Singapore is known to be probably the hardest race. It requires the strength, endurance side of things, but it also requires the concentration.
It's super hot, but it's the humidity that's the real killer there.
And your body's losing, 2, 3, 4 kilos sometimes. That takes a lot out of you. You still need the accuracy. You can't make the mistakes. Mistakes can cost you a race, can cost you a win.
When you know there's a hot race coming up, then I think quite a few drivers will do some heat training and trying to get used to that.
The two best ways that we prepare, one is in the physical side, which is training in a sauna or, cycling for 1 hour, 1.5 hours.
I've set up an exercise bike in my bathroom and turned on a few heaters. That works, it gets the job done.
The second version is the hydration, the nutrition side. Making sure you're eating the correct amounts, but also, and most importantly, making sure you're hydrating your body in the best ways.
Well, especially in the world of F1, the hydration is extremely important. Obviously, a lot of the work done physically is done before the season starts.
Our season is so long. It's from mid-February all the way until December.
There's 3 main sections for training through a season.
You have the off-season, where you really try and get the bulk of your training in, and that's where you can gain strength, gain cardio, fitness.
95% of the work needs to be done pre-season.
It's a very, very busy and dense year. We don't have a lot of time to train. So that period is the only real block of time where you may have the driver in a place where we can put together a structured block of training.
And then you kind of do a lot less volume of things, but kind of just consistent things through a season, whether that's just a bit of running, just keeping your neck activated and strong.
You also gain a lot of what we call race fitness by just driving the car. Your neck gets much stronger just from driving. All the muscles you need, get a big workout every weekend.
We utilize Optimum Nutrition's protein powders either as a snack or then immediately after exercise or a race weekend, just to start the recovery process quickly and just keep the protein intake high.
Supplements will play a big role. We'll typically put creatine and glutamine into his recovery shakes.
Recovery is just as important. It's how can you make sure your body is able to do it over and over again, weekend after weekend.
It's the fine balance of trying to train and keep your fitness up, but not tire yourself out and kind of overtrain.
With overtraining, it can lead to very long-term issues.
I do a job that I love, I do a sport that I love, and trying to stay motivated is quite easy, but it is very easy to go into a weekend on the back foot because you're already tired.
Rest is one of the most valuable assets anyone has.
Each night is a huge foundation piece for Lando.
Sleep is genuinely one of the best things for you.
The days can be huge, 16, 17-hour days in some cases. So you've got to find that me time, and that me time is about recovery and wellness.
I'm not always going to be in my bed and sleeping, so I got to make sure as much as I'm doing that, I want to go out and see my friends and go play some football or go for a run and just go outside sometimes.
That time in between is about being genuinely him and doing the things that help him detach so he can be 100% again when he reattaches to the race weekend.
I never knew what I needed to do to become a racing driver. I didn't know I needed to go to the gym, I needed to train, I needed to be fit. So especially in my younger years, but not many years ago, I was not as structured and disciplined with that as what I needed to be. And I have days that I hate going to train, but I know I have to. Once you get into it, it becomes a good thing. You start to realize that you should have done it all along.
Structure is very important because that gives us an idea of where the athlete is at the moment in time.
For me, having structure in my life is probably an underrated aspect that I didn't appreciate until I became a professional F1 driver. I now have basically my life planned almost minute by minute. I don't really know what I would do without that now.
You can't be at 100 all the time. You can be at maybe 70, 80 for a sustained period of time, but if you genuinely want to turn up and perform at your peak, like these drivers have to every race weekend, if you want to be able to turn the dial up to 100, you need to know how to turn it down to 0.
I think the one thing that people maybe get wrong is overtraining and trying to push too far beyond what's possible. It's important to have recovery so you can go again at the same intensity, and I've fallen victim to it a couple of times.
It's not always about the bigger the better, and sometimes there's kind of easier stuff and less stress on the body that actually improves it in a better way. So understanding how to do the correct exercises and how to actually improve your body in the most efficient way is one of the most important things.